Welcome back to Edinburgh Fest Live here on Sky Channel 266, or if you're watching us on Catch Up, you already know where we are. We're on YouTube. Ladies and gents, can you have a big round of applause for our last piece of entertainment before Suze with the news. Please welcome Stuart Laws. Hi, you're going to do a bit of stand-up for her?
I believe so, yeah.
Fantastic.
Thanks
Take
very
it away.
much. I'm colourblind. Yeah. Is that the response? Yeah, okay, fine. It's weird. You don't normally get that response when you say you're colourblind because it's not a proper disability. Like, you're not actual blinds. Like, I hope that's not the most controversial thing you ever hear, but being colourblind is not worse than being actual blinds. Yeah, I've said it. There you go. It's too early in the day for such a controversial opinion, but it's true. I think the only way that it's better to be actual blinds than it is to be colourblind is if you're actual blinds, you get a dog. And you can't get a dog if you're colourblind, because dogs are colourblind. It would be the colourblind leading the colourblind. Yeah, awful situation. Also, does anybody else ever struggle with parties? I've got a little tip for you. If you ever struggle going to parties, do something I do. That's pretend that someone has pretended to you that it's fancy dress. I'll let that sink in. It's quite a complicated setup. So basically, I'll turn up at a formal party dressed as a pigeon and see everyone in their smart clothes and be like, "What? Robert told me it was fancy dress." Now, Robert doesn't exist. I don't think he ever has. But suddenly, for the rest of the night, I'm the center of attention. Flapping on the dance floor, pecking at the buffet, perched on the ice sculpture, and no one can even remember who's getting married. It's a real good feeling. I mean, that's pretty much it. I thought that's what I'll do. Stand-up-wise. Two bangers, straight out. Absolutely solid gold stuff.
Cool, excellent. Take a seat. So, I was going to ask, how many times have you performed at the Fringe?
I've been here since 2011.
You didn't go home?
No, I haven't gone home. I've been doing the same show since 2011, every single day.
So, are you really colourblind?
I am actually colourblind, yeah.
Then you'll think the set looks great.
The set is absolutely fantastic. I'm not design blind, though, so some of the font choices are a bit unusual.
Indeed. And Harry Mary has stopped offering our guests food after a couple of them ended up in hospital.
I feel bad. What was Harry Mary smashing about?
Tomatoes, anything, basically. She has a psychiatrist that she's trying to work through.
It's good I didn't do my smashing tomatoes routine.
She named her chicken Frank, who is apparently her psychiatrist's name.
Yeah.
It's a bit odd. Anyway, you debuted in 2013 at the
Yes,
Fringe?
that's right. At the Dragonfly, which is a cocktail bar, the perfect place for comedy.
And what's the title of your show this year?
The title of the show this year is Stuart Laws So Preoccupied with Whether or Not He Could that he didn't stop to think whether he should, brackets 1 hour show. That is not a mainstream show title. Yeah. And in my head, I was like, basically, every single year I try to have a little secret movie quote in my show title. So the first one was absolutely will not stop ever until you are dead, brackets 1 hour show. It's from the Terminator. And then it progressed. But now it's in a situation where I'm at the Pleasance Courtyard. I need to sell tickets. And when you've got a show title that is longer than any blurb that you'll ever see, people aren't going to come, are they? They're going to be like, well, no, I'm going to go pick the show that's called blah, blah, stand-up. So it's not worth it for anyone out there who's like, I want to do an elaborate Jurassic Park reference. It's not worth it.
Yes, I was going to say, what tips have you got for somebody who's budding comedian or performer looking to come up to the Fringe and become famous?
If you are a stand-up and you want to become famous, then I guess the first thing is to commit some sort of awful crime on stage. That will get you famous the quickest out of any, more than writing jokes. Just commit a crime on stage and that will get you famous. If you want to get good, then just take ages. Just work on it. It's a really boring answer. Just try and try and try.
And how long have you been doing comedy?
Too long. No, I did my first ever gig in like September 2006 in like an arts cafe in Slough. And if that isn't like a dystopian vision of the past, then I don't know what is. The other people who were on were like, there was a man who played rhythm guitar for 10 minutes by himself. You know, rhythm guitar, the bit that you're not supposed to really hear. He did that solo for 10 minutes. Then I went on and told some jokes.
And what do you think the audience takes away from your show?
So my show this year is a bit more narrative driven than I normally do, and so I'm trying to sort of tell a little bit of a story. I hope that people will sort of tune into it's quite intricately written. I try and write every routine being quite broad at the start and then get more and more weird as we go along. But basically it's about the summer I spent working at a puffin sanctuary and the repercussions that's had on my life.
So a puppet sanctuary?
A puffin sanctuary.
Oh, puffin sanctuary. I was going to say that's a strange
You know what a puffin?
Puffin,
it's a seabird about yay high to a goose.
Yeah.
That was the unit of measurement we used at the sanctuary.
Okay.
I can't go into that right now.
Okay, so what takes you from going from there to becoming a comedian?
Well, I think the route is obvious, isn't it? If you've ended up working the summer at a sanctuary for puffins, you obviously, in some way, not quite right. You're going to take up stand-up.
And what else have you got planned after the Fringe?
After the Fringe, I actually run a production company, and we're doing like a best of the Fringe. So we're filming a lot of shows afterwards. Here's a little insight into how good I am at being unbiased. I haven't picked my own show for the best of the Fringe.
That is fantastic.
That's pretty. If you're thinking to yourself, you know what, I want to see a show by someone who, hey, maybe I don't think they're funny, but at least I know they're pretty modest.
Okay.
This guy.
So
I am the most modest person you'll ever meet.
Yeah, of course. And so where do you get your inspiration for your show? That was
A puffin sanctuary.
right. So
I said that, right?
So is it all
Any
just
puffin fans
bird?
in?
Is it bird humor? No.
There is a lot. I was a young ornithologist, basically. And I in '89, I was going to win Young Ornithologist of the Year. And basically didn't because the Berlin Wall came down. And I'm not like, basically people like got a bit distracted by other things. And I'm not saying I'm against the Cold War ending, but I really wanted that award. I'm not saying I want it to carry on, but at the same time, an alternate future, I was a Young Ornithologist of the Year in 1989.
Okay. And so where and when is your show this year?
It's 6 p.m. at the Pleasance Courtyard. It's Stuart Laws so preoccupied with whether or not he could that he did not stop to think whether he should.
Did you take advice on the title?
Yes. So I met someone early on who was interested in sort of producing the show, and he said, first question, are you wedded to that title? I said, yes. And he went, we probably can't work together.
Oh, yep, that sounds familiar. Ladies and gents, can you please give a round of applause for our last guest before Suze in the news? It is Stuart Laws.
Thank you very much. Cheers. Thank you.
If you've just joined us, we are here at the Newtown Theatre in George Street. Coming up now, it's over to Suze with the news.
Hi everyone, that's right, Suze with the news with Suze. You've probably all heard, it's just been getting bad from worse for me. My life's just gone downhill recently. I've been fired by my other part-time job. My cat died. I've recently been made homeless. There's an online hate campaign that started on Twitter. These nasty hashtags trying to get rid of Suze, the most negative, depressed newsreader of all time. So that's not going so well for me. As you know, my cat Mist was taken from me and has since been getting taken about dead on a lead by the neighbours. So, woo! So, you know, it's great. I was accused of forced entry at my other job. I know I'm homeless, but I didn't have to force entry. I was already in the room, you know. Woo to life, eh? So I'm glad that you're all responding so well to my tragedy. You're cold, you're heartless, the lot of you. So, nice one wee smile from that girl at the front, so I like you, that's nice. Maybe we could be friends, maybe go for a coffee afterwards. Could be friends, yeah? Oh, that's good, I've got one friend at least. Right, I'll just tell happy stories today. I don't think I or you could take much more bad news right now, could we? So, without further ado, I'll get on with the happy news. Shopkeeper in machete attack. Right, that's not great news to start with, is it? There must be something good. Brit dies rescuing girl from sex pest. Cancer passes heart disease as #1 killer. Shopping crisis sparks fear of fresh recession. There must be something good, bear with me. Breakfast bacon is back as we defy health fears. So keep eating bacon, everyone. Someone's won 2 gold medals at the Olympics and they're only 25. Well, get to 28 and have 2 restraining orders and see how you feel, eh, mate? Prison cars blown up. What have we got on TV tonight? One-punch killers. Follow cameras Aaron Roach Bridgman as he hears from the families of people who died after being struck just once by an assailant and investigates how a single punch can kill. Please kill me. Sex with cousin blows my mind. Well, that's some good news, isn't it? I suppose, depending on how you look at it. Thank you for all being so lovely today and, putting up with me. And hopefully I won't be fired from this job because I really need it. I think that's all we've got time for today.
Suze with the news, everybody. Now, we're almost out of time. That's the end of our programme tonight. But don't forget, we're here every day from 1:30 till 2:30 at the Newtown Theatre here in George Street in Edinburgh. So maybe you can come down and be part of our wonderful audience. Until the same time tomorrow, it's goodbye from me.
Okay, let's go. Take that. Action.